Have you ever started talking to someone and somehow ended up telling them way more than you planned? You walk away thinking, why did I say all that? Here's something interesting. Professional interrogators don't force people to talk. They don't rely on shouting. They don't rely on threats. In fact, the most powerful technique used in high-level intelligence conversations is surprisingly simple. It's not about pressure. It's about making someone feel understood. And today, I'm going to break down exactly how it works and how you can use it in normal, everyday conversations. First, let's clear something up. When people think about interrogation, they imagine intense rooms and aggressive questioning. But real professionals know something different. The more you push someone, the more they resist. The real strategy is psychological safety. When someone feels safe, they talk. When someone feels heard, they open up. And there are 3 simple techniques behind this. The first one is strategic silence. Most people are uncomfortable with silence. If you say something, and the other person just looks at you quietly for a few seconds, it feels strange. Your brain starts working. You feel pressure to explain more, so you do. For example, someone says, I was home all night. Instead of asking another question immediately, the listener stays silent. Just a calm pause. That silence creates tension, and often the person continues talking. Well, actually, I stepped out for a bit. The silence made them fill the gap. Here's the key. Silence makes people reveal more than questions do, because when there's space, the brain wants to complete the story. The second technique is mirroring. This one is simple. You repeat the last 2 or 3 words someone just said. That's it. If someone says, it was a stressful day, you respond softly, stressful day. Now they explain more. Now, yeah, my boss kept changing deadlines. You didn't ask a complicated question, you just mirrored their words. Why does this work? Because it makes people feel heard. It shows attention without pressure. It keeps them talking naturally, and it feels comfortable. But here's the important part. It has to be subtle. If you overdo it, it sounds strange. But when done naturally, it builds connection almost instantly. The third technique is labeling emotions. This is powerful. Instead of asking more questions, you name what they might be feeling. For example, it sounds like you were frustrated. Seems like that situation felt unfair. It looks like that really bothered you. When you label emotions, something interesting happens. The emotional part of the brain calms down. The person feels understood. And when people feel understood, they trust you more. And when they trust you, they share more. This isn't manipulation. It's emotional intelligence. You're not forcing information out. You're creating safety. And safety leads to honesty. Now here's the bigger truth. People don't open up because someone is clever. They open up because someone is calm, because someone listens, because someone makes them feel seen. Silence reduces pressure. Mirroring builds comfort. Labeling emotions builds trust. And together, they create powerful conversations. You can use this in normal life. On a date, instead of trying to impress, listen more. In an argument, instead of defending yourself, label what the other person feels. In business, instead of rushing to fill silence, let the pause work for you. The strongest communicators aren't the ones who talk the most. They're the ones who make others feel safe enough to talk. And here's something important. These tools come with responsibility. The goal isn't to control people. The goal is connection. If you use these techniques to understand others, your relationships will improve. If you use them to manipulate, people will eventually feel real power in communication isn't dominance, it's understanding. So remember this. People don't reveal things because they're pressured. They reveal things because they feel understood. Master that, and your conversations will change completely. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want more psychology explained in simple ways, subscribe. Let's keep learning.